Welcome to the process. It is Thursday, April 29th. 6-game slate ahead of us. I am Josh Engleman. I am here to break down all 6 of those games from start to finish. We're going to build it all out. And that's a lot better than playing whatever we had yesterday. 10-gamer that went just absolutely nuts. I didn't expect the Jazz to hang 150 on the Kings and still be like mostly useless. Rudy Gobert went for 42 FanDuel points in 24 minutes. 1.79 fantasy points per minute. Andre Drummond went for 37 in 20 minutes. Ouch. Ouch. Dame, well on his way to a perfectly acceptable game once again. Another blowout. Portland is just playing like crazy right now. Just couldn't get there. Couldn't get there. Shouts to Nikola Jokic, Lonzo Ball, the 2 biggies yesterday. Both went for 60, 1.7 plus FanDuel points per minute. Hope everybody else was able to find something. Yesterday was just hard. I really, really liked my lineups and my exposures at lock. I wouldn't change a thing, really. Just didn't work out. That happens. It's not fun. But rise and grind, everybody. Right there. We're back for another one. 6 games. This is perfectly manageable. I believe it's 2 games that start at 7 o'clock, 2 games that start at 8 o'clock, 2 games that start at 9 o'clock. Should be nice and calm, nice and chill. I'm actually going to have the house to myself tonight, which is kind of wild. So I'm just going to sit back, relax, watch a little bit of basketball, and just hang out. No live before lock for me tonight, so that'll help a little bit. Good morning to everybody that I see in chat. A ton of coffee cups, lots of good mornings. Everybody being very nice to each other. That's always great to see. I appreciate you guys. So let's get it started. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Then head on over to Twitter. Follow me at Josh Engleman. Only place you're going to be able to get these updates to my sim results as we get closer to lock. And that's all I got. I think it's time to drink some coffee. I'm dragging a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Yesterday was a long one. My Wednesdays are tough. They're tough relative to the rest of the days that I have. Not tough like to everyone else. But I need to get some coffee in me. So cheers to everybody. Good morning. Rise and grind. Grab your coffees, waters, ciggies, whatever you got. Joints. I hope joints. Let's get today started. Good luck tonight, everybody. Let's win some money. That was necessary. That was very necessary. Bang. And as you can see at the banner at the top of the screen, shout out to Monkey Knife Fight for being the presenting sponsor of this show. Please, please, please go check out Monkey Knife Fight. Use the promo code Awesemo when signing up. Get yourself 100% instant match deposit bonus of up to $100. Yes, if you deposit $100, they will give you $100. That is free money. Take the free money. Look, even if you find out that is not at all where you want to be, you still started off doubling your money. It's like winning a double up with no risk. Just go do it. DFS money. Yeah, I also had a bad night, but I don't know what I could have done to have a good night. Play a bunch of guys that I don't think that I would have wanted. Like AD got there in a way, played 31 minutes, got 47 fantasy points, 1.5x. Like I'm happy with that. Rudy Gobert was my most exposed center last night. He had 42 fantasy points in 24 minutes. Andre Drummond was my second. I believe my second most exposed center. Jokic, Drummond, and Rudy Gobert made up the bulk of my center exposure. They were the 3 highest fantasy point per minute guys, and 2 of them played 24 minutes or less. Just disaster. Dame in another monster blowout. Not fun. Not fun at all. I was very heavy on Jason Tatum. I was very heavy on Jaylen Brown. The problems lied in the fact that the Sacramento Kings got beat by 50. That certainly did not help. And it didn't help on either side. Unless you were able to get, I don't know, what, Boyan, I guess? Not good, man. Not good. Anyway, let's dive into it. Enough whining. I feel whiny today. Let's break down some lineups. Let's see if we can get back on the winning ways. First team up I know is going to be Brooklyn. Brooklyn Nets taking on the Indiana Pacers on the road. This is going to be a very fast-paced game, so we're going to want to pay close attention here. No Harden, no Claxton, no Brown, no Chiozza. Alize Johnson with the Q tag. Let's see where we're at here. DeAndre Jordan didn't play 2 nights ago, and I didn't know that till right now. Yeah, that's a good point there for DFS money. I don't know where Dean Wade went last night, but somebody needs to put that dude's face on a milk carton. That was not ideal. All right, so let's think about DeAndre Jordan here. How is he not playing on a team that doesn't actually have centers? What happened there? Insane. So they played 4, 5, 6. They went with an 8-man rotation. They can't. They're not just going to do that. There's no way, right? There's no way that they're just going to go to an 8-man rotation right now. That would be insanity. How do I mean, maybe they are. Maybe that's the way that. Yeah, I guess I'm going to go with that. 8-man rotation here. And then they didn't play TLC either, so those minutes are going to go to Mike James. So let's gut this entire rotation to start and get ourselves started. So Kyrie in for 36 minutes seems very normal. And then I guess Blake is just going to be a center. I'm going to give him 24 minutes. And Jeff Green is going to be the other center, 24 minutes there. And then he's going to play another 32, so 8 total. So 32 minutes total. Cool, that works for me. Kevin Durant is back, played 32 minutes. I'm giving him 32 minutes. That works. Right, so then other minutes at the 4. I guess we're just going to technically be Joe Harris. We're just going to be small. So we'll go 8 and 24 again. Landry Shamet is just playing, 32 minutes a game. So let's get those minutes in. We'll give 20 minutes to Mike James. And then I'm just missing who? Tyler Johnson? Tyler Johnson played 26 minutes. So even that leaves me 6 that I can't just naturally give to someone. So is that Alize Johnson if he plays? Because I don't feel like they're going to stick to an 8-man rotation. They're going to move a 9th guy in here. There's just no incentive for them to do this. I mean, I'm just going to assume, Alize Johnson. I'm going to assume that Alize Johnson gets a rotation if he plays. Now, all these rates should be the same. I don't really have anything that I can need to change there. And if that's the case, this has a 239 total. We have 4 games north of 230. I think we're going to be really liking some of Brooklyn here. Yeah, I like Kyrie. There's a case to be made to really like Durant as well. 9,300 and 8,500. Like 8,500 for Durant on DraftKings. That is in play. Kyrie looks good no matter what. Landry Shamet's a decent value on both sides. That's going to be tricky. Refresh. Actually, save. I crashed my sheet before we started the show. I got really nervous. So where? There it is. I might have like a new ranking thing. Shouts to Courtney for this. Just call it rank for right now, not Rab J. That wouldn't make any sense. That needs to be a percentage, I think. It does. All right, so if I refresh this, let's make this point guard. No, not point guard. Let's make this Brooklyn. And I don't have it set up yet for DraftKings, but if I'm right, then I might be able to do it while we're on the stream. Brooklyn. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right. So just summing up Brooklyn. Kyrie looks great on both sites. Durant looks okay on FanDuel and very good on DK. Shamet looks solid on both sites. Jeff Green for 4,800 on DraftKings is in play. All right, one team down. Keeping it moving. Dallas Mavericks. I think they've got a bunch of Q tags that we don't want to deal with. At least I'm sure they do. Yeah, there we go. Doncic, Richardson, DFS, Porzingis, and Redick all questionable, but Maxi Kleber is in. So that's great. DFS money, I'm not entirely sure that I'm on the Simmons train any longer. Well, I guess we're projecting everybody just in for Dallas for right now. They are on the road taking on Detroit, who I know is missing like 2/3 of their team. This is not going to be a really ideal projection. So we will start with Dwight Powell playing, 16 minutes. I'll assume that Willie Cauley-Stein plays, 12 minutes, 14 minutes, 12 will work. And we'll give KP 20 plus another 13. We'll give Maxi. I have to assume that if Maxi is available, he's just going to play a lot. So we'll go 28 for Maxi. That lets me get Dorian Finney-Smith 7 plus another 25. Yeah, 32 works for DFS. 26, 33. Jalen Brunson is now back to playing like 20 minutes a game, so I'm sure he'll play 28 minutes. I don't think that Trey Burke is going to get back in the rotation. I assume he just falls back out of it. That's the only way that this would really make a ton of sense to me. So 28 minutes to Luka plus another 8. Then we get Josh Richardson in for 28. JJ Redick can have those back up 12. 22 for Tim Hardaway. So something is a little bit too high. Normally that's me, but we need to get Tim Hardaway slightly more than 22 minutes, I believe. Actually, you know what? It's probably fine. 24 is probably the more realistic number. So I'm going to give Maxi 26. 9, 24. That gets Tim Hardaway to 24. And I'm just going to assume that Trey Burke goes back to not playing if everybody's in. And then we can delete all of these rates and put in everybody at their normal stuff. And done. All right, so for Dallas against Detroit, they're 8.5-point favorites in Detroit. We've got KP and Luka as really the only two options. KP is 7,600 on FanDuel. That's just too cheap given the position. Luka is 11K, which looks good, but Luka is 10-8 on DraftKings against the Pistons. That is a very nice spot. So I am really, really interested in Luka Doncic today, at least on DraftKings. Porzingis for 8,700 there is not nearly as appealing. So if I add these guys in, where are we at? All right, looking good so far. All right, now let's move on to Denver. I assume we're going to like Jokic, but the question will be, do we like Jokic more than we like... Ooh, Michael Porter Jr. questionable. Did he hurt himself last night? He played 40 minutes, tweaked his ankle, played through, said he was fine, expects to play. Okay, so we're not making any changes there. Dallas. Or Denver, rather. I can't imagine we're making any real changes. I've got everybody in here sort of the way that I would want. I am going to give Campazzo 4 more minutes, or 2 more minutes, rather. But Austin Rivers, good. Dozier, good. Shaq Harrison, less good. Who got those? Okay, so they went to JaVale. Would they do that against Toronto? Probably not. That's probably not necessary. And that maybe that was just for the back-to-back purposes, because then that brings JaMychal Green back in. So I don't have any changes to make for Denver. This is just where Denver's going to be. At home, taking on Toronto. They are 4.5-point favorites. Would I play Luka and KP together on FanDuel? Yeah, I would. No reason not to. 6-game slate. I would never limit any combination of 2 good players from one team. All right, so for Denver, Nikola Jokic is very clearly at the top of the heap. 10-9 on FanDuel, 10-9 on DraftKings. He and Luka will be very much priorities. Facundo Campazzo at 4,600 would be my second favorite FanDuel option, although that's very close with Porter, whose price is finally at 8K. He's 8,300 on DraftKings. Those are really the only 3 guys that you should be looking at as any sort of priority, although PJ Dozier on FanDuel for 5K is at least a little bit reasonable. So as I add Denver, yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking it. Keeping it move. Detroit, this is going to be awful. I know they're missing like 6 guys already. So, Pistons, you ready? No Corey Joseph, no Jeremy Grant, no Mason Plumlee, no Wayne Ellington, no Rodney Magruder, Dennis Smith Jr. out for a while, but Josh Jackson will play. So, let's delete this entire rotation and figure out if any of the Pistons are going to be viable, because in the grand scheme of things, I think that they will be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they have 11 bodies, although Davidas Servaitis is actually one of them, and he really isn't going to play all that much because he's a fake NBA player. And I mean that sincerely. I think I've said that on the show a couple times. Davidas Servaitis is a legitimate fake NBA player. He's the client of, I believe, the son of the owner. I want to make sure that I'm getting that right. Who represents Servaitis? I probably spelled that wrong, but it won't matter. Oh, that's not even close. He's only on the Pistons roster for a bonus. Where's Servaitis at? There he is. Who represents him? Where's it hiding? Oh, now I just want to get this right. I don't want to be wrong. Yeah, Michael Tellem. So, Pistons vice chairman, Arn Tellem's son. That's why he's on the team. That got Michael Tellem a little bit of a payout. He's terrible. Okay. So, starting at point guard, we have to assume is Killian Hayes. When they've sat these big groups of guys, Killian Hayes played 30 minutes, 33 minutes, 26 minutes. So I'm giving Killian Hayes 30 minutes. Bang. Yeah. Nepotism. Yeah, like he was not even a prospect coming out. And then they drafted him, I believe, in the late second round just to get his son paid. It's wild stuff. All right, we know Isaiah Stewart is going to be the starting center. And in these situations, he's played 28, 31, and 31. So, 30 again here feels fine. And then I assume that Tyler Cook is just the backup center. So let's work our way down then. Sadiq Bey plays 34 minutes here. And I'm just going to drop them in at the small forward spot for right now. Josh Jackson has played basically 30 minutes in all of these scenarios. I'm going to give Josh Jackson 30 minutes. We're piecing this together pretty easily. We've got Bey, Jackson, Stewart, and Hayes in. Frank Jackson in these scenarios. Minutes ramped up as we got closer. Averaged 28. I'm going to give Frank Jackson those 28 minutes. So we're going to do something like that. I guess we need to think about Jahlil Okafor. So Jahlil Okafor will likely be the backup. 20, 16, 16. So we're going to move Jahlil Okafor into the center backup spot. Tyler Cook's minutes are going to the 4 at the backup. Amadou Diallo just only plays 20 minutes a game. There's really no way around it at this point. So we're going to give him 20. So that's leaving us open for Sabin Lee and Sekou Doumbouya. So we're going to have to start sliding people down the positional spectrum a bit. So I'm going to say that Sabin Lee plays 18 minutes and Sekou plays 14 minutes. Oh, we'll go 16 and 16 for these guys. That feels pretty good. So we've got that. And then bang. That is my Pistons rotation. Okay, that'll work. Now we need to figure out who's going to pop off here for the Pistons. But it's looking like Killian Hayes, Sadiq Bey, Josh Jackson, Isaiah Stewart, and Frank Jackson are all going to be at least mildly valuable here. All right, so let's work our way through this. No Grant, no Plum Dog Millionaire. No Corey Joseph, although I don't feel like he's the guy that I really need to take off here, but that's everybody that's going to matter for this exercise, I think. Yeah. So Josh Jackson ends up with like a 29% usage rate. I'm going to go to 28.5 just to pump the brakes a little bit. 4 and 7 for rates. Nothing crazy there. Wonder why that stopped being green. Let me see if I could fix that quickly. Oh, yeah, everything isn't. So, it'll be fine. All right, Killian Hayes, 20.6% usage rate. So we'll go to 20. Assist rate goes to 10. That works. Frank Jackson usage rate, 252 minutes, 21% usage rate. Like it. Hamidou Diallo, 21% usage rate. Just going to keep him at his normal. Isaiah Stewart, this one's important. So he doesn't move at all from a rates perspective. He just stays exactly the same. It's kind of wild. Jahlil Okafor, 15% usage. So I'm leaving him at his normal rates. And then we get Sadiq Bey. Sadiq Bey in 381 minutes has an 18.9% usage rate when all of these guys are off the floor. So I'm just going to say that he basically stays the same. And then we don't, I guess I need to add to Sabin Lee as well. 18% usage rate. We'll go 17.5. So for the Pistons, we've got Killian Hayes, 3,900 on FanDuel, looking very nice as a value option. Josh Jackson, Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart, Frank Jackson, all in play. Frank Jackson would certainly scare me, but he's 3,900. His minutes are not... Frank Jackson is a guy you would want to be relatively light on, depending on ownership. On DraftKings, Bay and Hayes both look the co-best. Sadiq Bey for 4,900 on DraftKings is a really nice price tag. Frank Jackson for 3,500 also still scares me, but I think that he's in play. Josh Jackson 5,800 on DK is totally fine, as is Isaiah Stewart at 6K. Not too shabby. Let's get the Pistons added in here. 4 teams up and down. 100 viewers, 51 likes. We're almost underneath the ratio that we're looking for. So if you guys can hit that like button, that would be great. Golden State Warriors. Warriors are on the road taking on Minnesota. Guys, this is going to be another bonkers DFS game, so be ready. We're shaping up to have a slate on our hands. No Kelly Oubre. He is doubtful for today. And Kent Bazemore is back and expected to start coming out of the health and safety protocols. This is going to be good stuff, man. Warriors, Minnesota. This is a fantastic DFS matchup, especially with Oubre out. That opens some stuff up. All right, so I'm going to go 28 minutes for Looney. Everything there is for Draymond is fine. We're going to need to move Juan Toscano-Anderson to the 4. And 26 minutes feels about right for him. And then we'll get Bazemore in for 30 minutes. Michael Mulder is going to need a bit of a bump. So let's take that to 7 and 23. We'll go 11, 25. We get Mulder up to 23. I kind of want to give Mulder another minute or two. And I guess it's got to come from Jordan Poole. So 22, 15. All right, rates for Golden State are going to be the same, although I guess I need to pull it with Oubre off the floor, just in case. Boob, you are right. Curry is very 3-point dependent. I would have said that Wiggins was a good play, whether Oubre was in or not. So let's take Oubre off. We'll take Wiseman off. I like Wiggins a lot, like normally, so I don't think it's going to be all that different today. Slight usage bump with no Oubre on the floor. Does take a bit of a haircut in rebounding. Draymond, who has just literally stopped shooting, which is truly miraculous. All good there. Jordan Poole, 24% usage, so that can stay. Juan Toscano-Anderson, that can stay. So locking in at 12. Kent Bazemore, this one's important. 17.1% usage. No other real changes. Kevon Looney, 11.4% usage, so that can just stay where it normally is. Michael Mulder, I actually have to give rates now. 15.8, so that can just stay where it normally is. And then Steph, with no Oubre, no Wiseman on the floor. Steph Curry, 37% usage rate. That is a nice little bump for him. You guys know that I don't normally get to Steph, but I think Steph is about to show up as the best play on FanDuel from the Warriors by quite a bit because of how big of a pace up spot this is. And yes, it is. Steph Curry at 9,600. I'm expecting to be my number 1 play on FanDuel today. Andrew Wiggins, 6,700 on FanDuel looks good. He looks solid at 7K on DraftKings. Kent Bazemore is priced up on FanDuel, but priced down to 3,900 on DK. So there's your value there. Basically everybody from the Warriors is mildly viable today. It looks really good. Like really, really good. So let's see what we've got so far. Yeah, Curry passes Jokic by like quite a bit, I might add. That is interesting to see. Curry at the top. I mean, every pay up option so far outside of Luka on FanDuel looks like legitimately good. But Curry for 9,600 on FanDuel against Minnesota. How has Minnesota been defending the three this year? League shooting. All right. Minnesota. Actually, really good. They are 7th in the league in percentage of shot attempts from non-corner threes. Curry obviously not shooting a ton of corner threes, but 10th in the league. So they don't just get bombed on, which is interesting to see. Not changing anything that I'm doing, but I would have loved to see them just absolutely smash even more so than what I was expecting. So from Golden State, we go to Houston. And I'm hoping this is just sort of obvious. Houston at home against Milwaukee. Q tag on Avery Bradley. Q tag on Daniel House. Everybody that's been out is out. So everybody that was in, as far as I'm concerned, is just in. So whatever we had last time, I'm going with, which means I'm going to go to 34 minutes on Kevin Porter. And then we'll do 14 there. So 20 on Avery Bradley. That isn't going to work. We'll do 24. Armani Brooks played 11 minutes. Didn't see that one coming. We got... Who picked them all up? All right, I guess I need to give more minutes to Jayshawn Tate. So let's do something like that. Christian Wood. I guess I need to give 34 minutes. And Kelly Olynyk can stay at 32. Kenyon Martin Jr. can stay at 20. DJ Wilson can stay at 12. Yeah, so either Armani Brooks plays more or he doesn't. Oh, God, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever said. Actually, let's do something like this. 24 and 12. That makes Armani Brooks and Avery Bradley both look not that interesting. Houston's rates will all be the same. So Houston against Milwaukee. Kevin Porter Jr. at 5,600 is a really nice play as far as I'm concerned. Like, I'm going that direction again. He's probably going to look bad, but I think that he has to be played relatively aggressively given his rates. So Kevin Porter Jr., Christian Wood. All right, Porter Jr. is 7K on DraftKings. Way less interesting than he is on FanDuel. Christian Wood at 8,400 and 8,200 looks good on both sites. Jayshawn Tate is 6,100 on DraftKings. I think that looks pretty good. 6,700 on FanDuel. A little bit more of a tough sell. And then Kelly Olynyk for 6,900. Kelly Olynyk's 8,100 on FanDuel. What world are we in right now? How does Kelly Olynyk become an $8,100 player this season? If I told you guys that Kelly Olynyk became an $8,100 player this year, you guys would have assumed that Bam Adebayo had a career-ending injury. Alrighty. Where are we at? Yeah, Porter is my number 2 on FanDuel. This Curry-Porter-Jokic combo, along with Killian Hayes. Like, I'm hoping that I can get to that a lot. All right, on from Houston. I'm going to save this again because I'm a little nervous about the file today. 111 viewers, 66 likes. We're doing a great job. Indiana. I know Goga Batadze is questionable, so this is just going to look really complicated to start. As is Jeremy Lamb. So we're going back to the assumption that Goga Batadze is playing, which means we got to start all of this from scratch. So if Goga plays, I'm giving him 24 minutes. O'Shea Brissett is then getting the other 24 minutes, plus another 6 at the 4. I would also then give Jakar Sampson 24 minutes at the 4. And McBuckets is already just not playing, so 18 minutes for McBuckets. If this game is close, Malcolm Brogdon at 34 minutes seems spot on. And then TJ McConnell plays 22. And I'm guessing that Edmund Sumner will be the guy that loses minutes if Jeremy Lamb ever does come back. So we need to give Karis LeVert 32 minutes right out of the gate. We got to give Justin Holiday, I don't know, 24 minutes. So let's make that 8 and 24. That leaves me 32 minutes for Edmund Sumner and Jeremy Lamb. I'm going to go 14 and 18. Does that make sense to me? I feel like Sumner's minutes just need to be different, but if Jeremy Lamb comes back, I don't know where else those minutes come from. I guess they can come from Justin Holiday? Oh, man. Even if I take 4 away, that's not going to matter. So Sumner's not going to show up as a relevant play for me. Won't matter. Won't matter for Lamb. The only guys that are going to matter are Goga, LeVert, Brogdon, and to a lesser extent, O'Shea Brissett. Rates, I don't have to change. That could just be there. Yeah, I have no issue with the rates right now. So for Indiana against Brooklyn, nice matchup. Bad defense, especially with no center. Goga Batadze is 4,900 on FanDuel, 4K on DraftKings. We're going to be doing this Goga journey once again. We have to. 8,500 on FanDuel for Brogdon looks really good. 9K for Brogdon on DraftKings is probably a little pricey. And I think we can still get to O'Shea Brissett on DraftKings at 5,300. He's 6,800 on FanDuel. So very, very different plays for Indiana across both sites. That Indiana in. Let's see where these guys show up. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Bang. Let's change that. Bang. Yeah, so still Curry, Porter, Jokic at the top. We get Goga into the number 7 spot on FanDuel, but a little bit higher there for Goga on DraftKings. And I expect him to show up even higher. Wouldn't surprise me if he's the number 1 contender, at least as of right now. Milwaukee. I'm guessing we don't have to worry about anything here for the Bucks. Probable. All good. This should just be normal Milwaukee rotations. 35. We need to give Middleton another. No, 30. I got to give Middleton another minute. If I have Giannis at 35, I got to have Middleton at 35, and I probably need to have Drew Holiday at 34. So 10 from Teague, 34. Tucker played 26. That's interesting. Portis is getting a little bit less. Where can I take another minute? Connaughton, sure. 21, 2. All right, so Milwaukee at Houston. The pay-up options today are nuts. 11-2 for Giannis on FanDuel, 11K on DraftKings, and I think he looks great. Every one of these guys are in massively good matchups. I like Drew and I like Chris Middleton on FanDuel. I would say that you would want to only play 2 out of 3 Giannis, Holiday, Middleton because of the salaries. It's going to be hard for all 3 to provide the value that you'll need. So I would set a max 2 of 3. I don't normally set a lot of rules in Fantasy Cruncher, but I do when 3 salaries become very different. But Giannis looks fantastic today. I don't even know. Like, these guys are all going to be so bunched together. Positionals, where the value lies positionally will dictate who actually pops the most as a pay-up option. Like, I have Jokic and Giannis basically tied. Curry is obviously a better pay-up option, but he's also priced down on FanDuel. Kyrie is not too far behind. Luka on FanDuel is the outlier right now. Raz, thank you, man. Thank you. Good morning to Jeffrey, Velo, Jigga Josh. Happy to have everybody here. Theodore, good morning. Good morning to everybody. Look at these top 4 these top 5 right now. Curry, Giannis, Jokic, Kyrie, Luka. And all of them are the 5 best plays on the slate. I'm very curious to see how these guys like rise and fall based on that info. And we haven't even gotten to Minnesota yet, who's taken on Golden State, pace up spot. You know, they've got guys that can be really good from a DFS perspective. Everybody's healthy. So I'm guessing Cat ends up looking incredible depending on price. We just need to get the minutes dialed in. Jaden McDaniels at 32 minutes seems okay. We saw Wancho pick up a little bit of additional run. So I'm going to take 1 minute from Jaden McDaniels. Edwards at 35 minutes, good. D'Angelo Russell at 30 minutes, good. Rubio at 25 minutes. I can actually take some minutes away there. And go to, I don't know who. Let's make that 10. We'll make that 23. We'll go 15 and 14 there. Josh Okogie. I'm going to take 2 minutes there. Actually, we'll put those back on. We'll go 15 and 8. And that lets me get 3 more minutes to Jared Vanderbilt and 2 more minutes to Wancho. Not that it matters. Rates are all going to be the same here. Yeah, 147 viewers, 82 likes. I appreciate the help, Nate. Minnesota against Golden State. This is what, the fastest matchup in the league, or at least close to it. This is number 4 and number 5 in pace today. Plus we have Indiana and Milwaukee on this slate. It's a quick one. So Towns, 9,700 on FanDuel, 10-1 on DraftKings. Looks like a great pay-up option. After that, it gets a little bleak, depending on the site. D'Angelo Russell is 6,700 on DraftKings. Anthony Edwards is 7,400 on DraftKings. I like them both there more than I like them on FanDuel. Jaden McDaniels is still just 3,900 on FanDuel. He's probably a guy that we have to pay at least a little bit of attention to because of how many pay-up options there are. I think McDaniels is going to climb more so than we would have expected. So let's add Minnesota. Let's see where Towns ranks relative to everybody. So look at this. Towns, Jokic, and Giannis separated by 0.4 of a point relative to salary on FanDuel right now. The upper tier is loaded. This is one of the more loaded pay-up slates we're going to see this year. New Orleans Pelicans. Tough one yesterday for Zion. Doubtful tag on Steven Adams. So this is going to free up at least a little bit of value now because we have to assume that Steven Adams is just not playing here. Did get dinged up a little bit. We just saw him miss, 2 games ago? They went to Willie Hernan-Gomez for the start. I'm going to guess that happens again. So let's gut these minutes and figure out where we really need to be. Was it just Willie Hernan-Gomez and Jackson Hayes? It was. They played the straight 48 minutes. Now I don't want to give the starter here will matter the most, and they're taking on Oklahoma City, so the matchup is great. I'm going to try to be at least a little bit pessimistic since I don't know who's going to start. So if I do 28 and 20, wow, are they priced up already? Oh no, it's just bad rates. All right, so if I go 28 and 20, it looks okay. If I go 27, 21, that won't matter. So yeah, I'm going to go 28 and 20 on Hernan-Gomez and Jackson Hayes. We've got Zion in for 35. We'll give James Johnson the backup minutes there. They're still working him back in. Last time we saw Adams out, James Johnson was also out. But at the same time, we still need to give Najee Marshall a pretty good chunk of run. So let's give him 24 minutes. That leaves me 13 minutes for someone. Looks like Wenyen Gabriel is the guy that's been picking up the most time. So now let's see what this team looks like when Steven Adams isn't on the floor. Oh, we are about to pass 100 likes. I appreciate you guys. Let's take Adams off. And then we also want to take Hart off. Okay. That's good enough for me. So Zion with no Adams, no Hart, 34.7% usage. That looks pretty darn good. I'm not going to go all the way to 34, but I am going to go to like 33, I think. Assist rate and rebounding rate can all stay the same. We want to go Brandon Ingram next. Ingram, 221 minutes, 27% usage, so we're going to keep him exactly where he belongs. Eric Bledsoe, 18.8, so he can stay exactly where he normally is. Jackson Hayes, 17.9, so we'll go to 16.5. Lonzo will be very important, 21% usage rate. And a very nice assist bump, which I wouldn't have expected. Najee Marshall, probably not all that important here, 15.8. And then Willie Hernangomez, we got to get this one right. 314 minutes with no Adams, no Josh Hart on the floor, 18% usage. So I'm going to leave him right where he normally is, 17.4. Rebounding rates don't really change all that much, although in theory they do go up a little bit. But I'll leave that in the assist rate for right now. So this is what we've got going for New Orleans against Oklahoma City. New Orleans Pelicans are 9.5-point favorites in OKC. And we're going to be looking at Willie Hernangomez, 4,900 on FanDuel, 4,100 on DraftKings. So if Goga Bitadze plays, getting Willie Hernangomez and Goga right will be important. You could obviously play them together and then pay up elsewhere to basically not Jokic. Zion for 9,400 and 9,800 I think looks good. Lonzo Ball 6,700 and 6,800 looks good. Ingram, Hayes, Marshall I think are all viable options. Lots to like here for the Pels, just given the way that this matchup is set up. Yeah, we get Zion as all the way up to the top here in FanDuel, showing up very similar to Killian Hayes and Kyrie. And then we get Willie Hernangomez is 6th overall. I have him basically a fantasy point ahead of Goga Bitadze relative to salary, which doesn't make a ton of sense to me right now. But I think Willie Hernangomez is a more highly variant player than Goga Bitadze. So that's where we stand for right now on the Pels. We've got 2 more teams to go, Oklahoma City and Toronto. Let's get Oklahoma City out of the way, and let's get 2 more likes on this video so we can get north of 100. Who do we got in for OKC today? Everybody is in right now except for Shea. Full strength Oklahoma City is what this is implying. So, if that's the case, we already should be set up then. Moses Brown for minimal minutes, true. Tony Bradley for minimal minutes, true. Isaiah Roby, 27 minutes. I've got him in for 24, so we need to find him 2 extra minutes. I'm going to take them from Moses Brown. 26 minutes for Isaiah Roby. 32 for Baisley. I want to give him an extra minute. Kenrich Williams can lose one for sure. 28 minutes for Pogo Stick. Good. Lou Dort at 31. I can actually afford to give him more. Svi played 18, so I'm going to get Dort to 32. It's going to be Dort season tonight, it looks like. And I'm going to take 1 minute away from Maladon and give it to Ty Jerome. Likes are over 100. You guys are the best in the world. I love having you here. Oklahoma City, $6,200 Dort at the top of the heap, $6,500 on DraftKings. Not a lock play like some of these other guys, but he's going to show up teetering on the top 10. Poku is close. Baisley on DraftKings at 6,300 looks pretty good. Roby's price is starting to climb. But you can see there's a core of 5 guys on Oklahoma City that we can get to because it's a really nice matchup. So let's add Oklahoma City. And then I'm going to cross my fingers that I don't have to touch anything on Toronto. Yeah, Dort shows up 10th on FanDuel. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Final team, Toronto Raptors. And if we're lucky, we don't have to do anything. Gary Trent is out. Chris Boucher is out. We already know that, which means Toronto should be running at full strength. We're seeing these guys play their big minutes again. I've got Lowry in for 35. I've got Fred VanVleet in for 36. I've got OG Anunoby in for 36, which probably is one too many. DeAndre Bembry is playing. Yuta Watanabe is playing. Stanley Johnson, I guess, is playing. None of that matters. Pascal Siakam at 37 minutes. Good. Kem Birch at 30. Good. At Denver. So we don't have anything to do. And bang, Toronto. Kyle Lowry, 6,400 on FanDuel. I would have thought looked like a better play. Looks good, but not great. You can play any one of these top guys for Toronto. I would probably set a group that I didn't want more than 2 of Lowry, VanVleet, or Lowry, VanVleet, Siakam, or OG Anunoby. Although on FanDuel, I might not put Lowry in that group. But we are done. We are through everybody. And I believe then that this rank column should now be representative. Now, we're just testing it out. I got helped out by a friend of the program, Courtney. If I just sort by it, like Landry Shamet and Josh Jackson end up popping up pretty high. So I'm really curious to see where they end up when we start running the power rankings, because that'll give me a little bit of an idea of how I need to change the weighting. So let's go ahead and run our crunch. I'm excited. 6-game slates are great. It's just enough of a like sizable slate that you don't have to worry really about dupes, but it's not too short of a slate where like you can't feel like you feel like you're dead in the water right out of the gate. So optimal lineup on FanDuel to start. 333.6. Steph Curry, Killian Hayes, Josh Jackson, Landry Shamet, Chris Middleton, Kevin Porter Jr., Giannis, Kristaps Porzingis, Goga Batadze. Who knows if Porzingis or Goga plays? That'll be important, but none of that on there surprises me at all. Middleton, at least a little bit surprising. You can drop down 0.3 of a point if you want. Swap out Josh Jackson for Wiggins and Middleton for Dort. No problems there. But let's run the power rankings and see where we end up. And I'm going to do this so that I can keep a visual eye on it. Perfect. Okay, that we'll play with the weights a little bit, but I'm liking it. Kevin Porter at the top, no surprises. Andrew Wiggins looking like he's going to be the number 2 option today, no surprises. Shamet quite high as well, number 3. Josh Jackson, Steph Curry, Giannis, Towns, Killian Hayes, Jokic, Zion, Goga, Luka, Chris Middleton. All that makes a ton of sense to me. It really does. Center is looking like it's going to be a 4-man race. Towns, Jokic, Goga, Hernan Gomez, although Kevon Looney hanging out there a little bit. I mean, that Giannis, Zion, Porzingis trio looks incredible at power forward. Point guard, Curry at the top, Hayes. You still get to Luka and Kyrie. I like it. I like it a lot. Probably overrating raw points here just a little bit. That'll bring Josh Jackson and Shamet up slightly. Push Giannis down. But I'll play with that a little bit. Whew. I like this slate, man. I like the way that those exposures are coming out. I like how many studs there are. That's usually a good thing for me. I think this is going to be fun. Let's check DraftKings now. DK. Let's grab those optimals. Gonna be a lot of cheapies on this. This is going to look so stars and scrubsy. It's insane. Yeah, there it is. Curry, Frank Jackson, Bazemore, Durant, Goga Batadze, Facundo Campazzo, Giannis, and Willie Hernangomez. So paying up Curry, Giannis, and let's just say that we're paying up for Durant at 8,500. Then it's 3,500, 3,900, 4K, 46, 41. Stars and scrubs tonight on DraftKings, 292.9. If you want to change that out a little bit, drop down 0.2 of a point. Turn Frank Jackson into Sadiq Bey. Turn Facundo Campazzo into Chris Middleton. There must be one more here. Bazemore into Shamit. Yeah. Fun slate. Now, I think DraftKings is probably going to look pretty bonkers here. I'm a little nervous about who's going to end up being the top of the heap. Mikey B, I hope so. I hope so. Yeah, so the value on DraftKings is getting pushed to the top. Hope you guys like the Kent Bazemore, Willie Hernangomez, Goga Batadze, Frank Jackson group of 4. That should be good for everybody. That is brutally ugly. Truly brutal. There's potential that the first 5 guys on here are guys like I have no interest in rostering. All right, power rankings on DraftKings, and then we get out of here. Willie Hernangomez, Goga Batadze, Kent Bazemore, Frank Jackson, Kyrie Irving, Landry Shamet, Steph Curry, Sadiq Bey, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jayshawn Tate, Kevin Durant, Lonzo Ball, Karl Anthony Towns, and Luka Doncic. Whew. Nice. We're done. 7:27. We just finished off a 6-game slate in less than an hour. I'm pretty happy about it. I needed to get through it. It feels good. One last reminder to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Contenders videos will be out shortly after this. Strategy show today with Laffy. I believe Laffy and Kaufman switched Thursday, Friday. So I think we're going to have Kaufman tomorrow. 8-gamer for Friday. But no live before lock for me today. Tomorrow, I'm done live before locks until next Monday. So you guys just got to keep your eyes peeled to Twitter. Training session again today. That's not going to be fun. Upper body. Hope I can click my mouse by the time I leave. That'll be interesting. But thank you guys for being here. It's great to have a crew like you all here. The support is fantastic. You guys have been really helpful in chat. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it a ton. Good luck tonight, everybody. We're back again tomorrow. Final process show of the week tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. Adios, everybody.